Uh, Good morning, everyone. This is Narendra from Manavi Wealth Pvt Ltd. Ours is a financial product distribution firm based out of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. And I welcome everyone for this financial well-being session. So this is about myself. I have more than 14 years of experience in this financial advisory profession, and I have delivered more than 100 odd speeches on this awareness programs. And this is our firm's mission. We are on a mission to educate people on financial literacy and empower them to lead a financially confident and stress-free life through our scientific money management process. So as a responsibility, like we feel our responsibility is not just to do the business. Besides that, we are also on a mission to educate people as much as we can. What we believe is like knowing what to invest, where to invest, what not to invest, where not to invest is more important than investing alone. So we believe empowering you makes a better India. So today's agenda would be, we would be talking the four important elements of finances. One is wealth protection, and the second one is wealth creation, and the third one is wealth transfer. And the most important thing is, do you need any specific individual to guide you all these things, or you can like do by yourself? That you would be knowing by end of the session. One thing I can assure you is that by the completion of the session, you will be having at least 2 to 3 takeaways where you can start executing or start using into your financial life immediately after the session. So let us quickly start the session. So before that, these are the disclaimers. Probably you might have already heard that we are not going to sell you, or we are not here to promote any financial products. I assure you again that we are not going to sell you anything in this session. Our objective of this session is just to educate you. Financial uncertainties. Every individual life will have certainties and uncertainties. Certainties are the aspects where one have to meet by saving or investing. And in the process of saving or investing towards your future financial responsibilities, there is always a scope for uncertainty to be happened. So we have categorized these uncertainties into 4 elements, 4 aspects. One is life uncertainty, second one is health uncertainty, third is career uncertainty, and the fourth one is disability. Disability itself is again an uncertainty. So let us see in detail one by one. Life uncertainty. So as a breadwinner of a family, it is a prime responsibility to take care of our family financial needs and the future responsibilities, whether we are there or we are not there. If we are there, definitely we will be planning, we will be saving, we will be investing, and we will be achieving our future financial dreams. Say example, if something happened to you as a breadwinner in the family, what kind of financial burden is going to be leaved on the family is the one which we are going to understand in this life uncertainty. Here, the most important factor one have to know is human life value. Let us see how a human life value of a 30-year aged person can be calculated. If the present household commitment of an individual, of a person who is 30 year is 40,000 rupees, at 7% inflation, if he think he can work till 58 years, then he would need at least 2.1 crore. Means at least he would need 2.1 crore as a corpus. If say example, if he is there and if he is saving and investing, he could achieve these responsibilities worth 2.1 crore. If something happened to you, he should have at least 2.1 crore of term insurance coverage. That is what we have to know in this life uncertainty aspect. What hack we would suggest you here is, at least one need to have 15 to 20 times of your annual income as a coverage. This is about life uncertainty. And here comes the health uncertainty. This has become more prominent in last two years. Every one of us know why the health uncertainty will come and how health uncertainty can disturb your finances. So we know it pretty well. So if we are not prepared for any kind of future health uncertainties, means hospitalization, then we may have to postpone our dream, or we may have to reduce our savings or investments which we have planned for long term. Sometimes we may have to sell the assets, which most of our friends have done this in last 6 months to 1 year. In the second wave, this has happened a lot, and maybe we have to borrow money, or we have to compromise on treatment, or if you are not prepared, if you don't have friends who support financially, then we have to just pray and do nothing except praying the god. So instead of that, what we advise you is, you need to have a personal health insurance policy with a maximum possible coverage. This is about health uncertainty. And the third uncertainty is career uncertainty. So career uncertainty can also be taken as career upscale. Means, say example, after few years you wanted to take to the next level, you want to take your career to the next level because of this fast paced environment, and as technology is changing every day, our skill set which we have acquired from our college days is no longer valid. So we have to upgrade ourselves. So for upgrading ourselves, we may sometime need to take a break in our career. So for that, you have to be prepared. Acquired from our college days is no longer valid. So we have to upgrade ourselves. So for upgrading ourselves, we may sometime need to take a break in our career. So for that, you have to be prepared. So that is one way to look into this slide. And the other way is challenges. So in this career uncertainty aspect, it is our prime responsibility to take care of this aspect as well. So for this, one need to have 6 to 12 months of their as an emergency fund in order to meet this uncertainty. And last but not least, uncertainty is disability. This disability can happen to anyone in any form, at any place, at any moment. So if some external event happened to us, so definitely we may suffer some kind of disability. It can be a partial disability, it can be a permanent disability, or it can be a total disability. So disability can be of any sort. In that case, we may end up not receiving our salary. If that got extended, we may suffer our income as well in long run. But since we are not prepared for such events, we will definitely, our future savings or plans would get disturbed. So for that, we would suggest you to have a personal accidental insurance. Here our advice is, like, at least you need to have 10 times of your monthly annual income. So one request I would like to tell you is, never ever be confused with a term insurance policy and a personal accidental insurance policy. Both are different products. So with this, we have come to an end of financial uncertainties. Let us see the financial certainties. Before proceeding the financial certainties, I just want to know if any one of you are having any questions. You can please raise your hand, or you can unmute yourself and you can ask any questions, or you can use the chat box to ask any questions. I think there were no questions, so let me proceed. So financial certainties. Certainties are the responsibilities which are linked with your finances. So we have broadly categorized 4 financial responsibilities of every individual, of every family person. So we first one is retirement, second one is children higher education, third one is children marriage, and the fourth one is aspirational goals. Let us see first retirement. So in this retirement, we have to understand, do we really need to plan for retirement? Is it necessary? If we see the average age of today's audiences who are present in this session, the average age of audience is roughly 30 to 35. So is it necessary for a 35-year aged person to plan for retirement? If you ask us, we will definitely say yes. You have to prioritize your retirement as a most important financial responsibility. You'll come to know why I have said this statement. Let us see an example. If A person whose age is 35 years and his monthly commitment is 40,000 rupees a month today, if he wishes to retire at 58, then his monthly commitment, which is costing 40,000 rupees today, is going to cost him 1,90,000 rupees. So in order to survive with this pension for next 30 years or next till 85 years of his age, he would need a corpus of 4.5 crore. So we are talking about a guy who wanted to start his retirement planning at age 35. If you think you are at below 35 or above 35, then just understand how much more you have to save for it, and how much more how prioritized you have to take this goal. So for this, we suggest you at least 10% of your net annual income has to be kept aside exclusively for your retirement. So hope no confusions on this. And the other important responsibility is children higher education. These days, our biggest concern or a biggest responsibility every family person or every father or a mother have in their mind is to make sure that his or her child has a very good career. So gone are the days where we used to talk about I'll make my child an engineer, a doctor, or some management guy. These are the days where there are thousands and thousands of career options which are open. So one thing what you have to be keep in mind is that you have to save, whether you have to save something for your kid higher education. It is immaterial whether you are planning for his engineering or medicine or XYZ course. It is important to save something for his higher education, just to make sure that the cost of education in olden days and the future, you'll realize that why it is important to start at the early stages. So here also I've taken an assumption of a child whose age is 5 years and the higher education age would be 18 years. If the education cost is increasing by 7% every year, the engineering which is costing 25 lakh rupees today would cost us 60 lakhs. This is all after 13 years of the kid age from here. And then MBA, which is costing 50 lakh rupees today, would cost the parent 1.2 crore, or a medicine of 5 crore would cost them approximately 10 crore. So it is scary, but it is important to wake up at this stage. So again, what hack we would suggest you for this specific responsibility is that you have to keep at least 5 to 10% of your net income. And other important financial certainty, financial responsibility would be child marriage. For a person who is having a girl, definitely this would be his priority. For a person who is having a boy child, may not be the priority. So if the cost of a marriage, if the cost of a marriage is 10 lakh rupees today, after 20 years, this would cost you 46.5 lakh rupees. So one thing you can understand from this slide is, for anything or everything, you have to start planning, so that you would be in a position to understand whether you can achieve these responsibilities in a right way at the right stage or not. So hack, at least 5% of your net annual income has to be saved towards this responsibility. In the order of priority, we would keep it as a last priority. If you have it as a important, you can make it in top 3 priority list. So last but not least, life aspirations. So in this generation, we're very much worried about the stress or the careers or the responsibilities. So what we would suggest you is, you have to live rich and die rich. But those are the days where people used to live poor and die rich. So by sacrificing everything, they used to save something for their rainy day or for the future retirement or for future kids. So what we recommend is, besides planning for your retirement, children, career, you also have to keep something for yourself and your spouse. Why? Because end of the day, it is you have to take care of your partner. So for that, we have figured out two aspirations. One is old tour, and the second one is dream home, or it's a vacation home. I call it as we call it as a vacation home, not a dream home. So hope everyone know what is a vacation home is. So if the cost of the foreign trip is 30 lakh rupees today, and if you wish to have a world tour after at 50, you would need a corpus of 95 lakh rupees today. But the same, if your vacation home or a weekend home is costing you 50 lakh rupees today, after 15 years, same house would cost us 1.65 crore. So it is important to start saving for this as well, provided you have figured out your other financial responsibilities. And we would recommend at least 5% of your income you can allocate for these responsibilities. You need not take this as a standalone numbers, and you need not worry whether you can save this much corpus for these responsibilities or not. These numbers are just to give you an idea how you can plan for your future responsibilities. So till now, we have talked about financial certainties and financial uncertainties. Now let us see the plan of action. So in this, we have to first know a very, very basic important thing. Sir, you have said the financial certainties and you have talked about financial uncertainties, but do you really think that we can manage this with the income we are earning? Right? So most of you might have this question in your mind. So I'm going to address this as well. Just think this scenario. You might have started your career maybe 10 years back, 5 years back, 15 years back. Maybe few people might have started 20 years back as well, right? Let me take an example. A person who started a career 10 years back, where his monthly salary was 40,000 rupees, example. So from there, he has come to today income level of 1.5 lakh, 2 lakh rupees. Let us assume that he has grown in his career and his income has gone up to 2 lakh rupees, from 40,000 to 2 lakh rupees today. So if you really have the idea or a clarity about your financial future, and if you have started allocating some percentage of your salary towards your financial responsibilities, don't you think that you could able to meet some of the responsibility which you have already discussed? Could be. But most of us are not aware that we should prioritize savings first. Let me take you to this slide. We believe in a formula called what is left out has to be saved. But believe me, as long as we feel the left out money has to be saved, we would be never in a position to save for our future responsibilities. So the actual formula is whatever is left out that has to be spent. Means after earning, you have to allocate certain percentage to your future financial certainties and uncertainties. Then what is left out, then that has to be spent. If you could do this, believe me, you can definitely have good amount of savings in just 3 to 4 years span. I think like you understand what I mean by the slide. So here comes the interesting topic of today's discussion. This is called wealth creation. So most of us know the need for saving, and most of us know the need for investing as well. So in the process of saving or investing, there are very, very important elements or important aspects one need to understand before taking any financial decision. So here comes the first important aspect, that is inflation. What does this mean? Inflation, in simple terms, this is a evil that will eat the value of your money in long run. Just to make you understand with a simple example, if you're having 10,000 rupees today, you have not saved or invested anywhere. You just kept your 10,000 at your home. If you come back after 30 years and see the value of your 10,000, to your surprise, the value has gone down by 90%. Means if you have a lakh rupee with you and you have not saved it anywhere, instead you kept it at your almirah or at a drawer at your home. If you come back after 30 years and you see, you'll able to see the 1 lakh rupee worth notes, but the value of that 1 lakh rupee worth notes would be today's 10,000 rupees. So the very scary part in investments is inflation. People who don't address inflation in their savings or investments, they cannot meet their future financial obligations for sure. So in order to safeguard your value of your money, one have to save. Is saving alone sufficient? May not be. So you have to make your savings to work for you, which means you have to invest your money in order to beat this inflation. Just to make sure how this inflation affects in our day-to-day life, here I have shared you an example. If we see, a liter milk costed us 6 rupees in 1990, it is costing us 60 rupees today. In 30 years span, the value of milk has gone up by almost 10 times. So at least in order to enjoy the same lifestyle which we enjoyed, or which our parents used to enjoy in past, you have to make your money work for you. So you can make your money work for you only when you invest that money. And these are real time examples and real life examples. These are not at all exaggerated figures. So another important aspect in wealth creation is starting early. So knowing why to start is important, but knowing where to start is also most important. So here, if you see, we have taken an example of two friends who have started their career at age 25. At age 25, they thought of starting something for their retirement. But here, as name suggests, Mr. Early has realized and started taking decision immediately and started saving 10,000 rupees for his retirement till 60 years of his age. And here comes his friend, Mr. Late. So even in our circle as well, we'll find some people like Mr. Late who postpone certain things casually, but they'll realize after later stage of their life that they have delayed that task in a big way. So Mr. Late realized this after 45. So he realized that he started late. So he have started saving towards his retirement in a big way. He started saving 25,000 rupees a month. So both of them have a target of 60 years in their mind for the retirement. So Mr. Early could able to save 42 lakhs. Mr. Late could able to save 45 lakhs. If you see who made more money is Mr. Early, who started early. How come this is possible? This is possible because of a wonder called compound interest. We'll understand what is compound interest and how it affects in the next slide. So remember, starting early is most important. Whether you start small or big, it is immaterial. Starting is most important. Here it is. Compound interest. If you want to know the compound interest or the power of compound interest, this example will give you a fair idea. If you have 1 rupee with you today, if you invest it in an asset which gives you 15% annualized return, in 5 years your 1 rupee will become 2 rupees. After 5 years, from 5th to 10th year, again your 2 rupees will be doubled. This is also, we have a formula called doubling period formula, where it says if a product which can give 15% per annum return, your investment will get doubled in every 5 years. With that example, with that formula, your 1 rupee is becoming 64 rupees in 30 years. So what do you need to do for multiplying your money 64 times in 30 years is nothing. Identify a product which can give you good returns and leave it for long run. Believe me, the compound interest works in your favor if you start as early as possible. People who have good amount of time, they can reap the benefits of compound interest. Any questions on this? Okay. Here comes the important formula called wealth creation formula. So probably if you are a science student or a math student, you might have heard this formula. But if you're not also, I'll make sure that you understand this formula very well. So this can be simple. This can be understandable in a simple way. If you want some target in future, or if you want to achieve something for your financial responsibilities in future, then you have to take care of few important things. One is P. P is nothing but how much you wanted to invest today. R, where you wanted to invest, means in which product you wanted to invest. T, number of years, how long you wanted to invest. In order to achieve your financial target successfully, you have to follow all these three principles. So to make it more simple, I'll just give you an example. You want 1 crore rupees in 5 years. Let us assume you need a target of 1 crore in 5 years. So here we know the target and we know the time period, which is 5 years. So in order to achieve this 1 crore in 5 years, you also have to identify a product which gives you enough percentage of return to make sure that you achieve your 1 crore target. Means the kind of product which you have to invest, which you wanted to consider, is also important, right? And how much you can invest today also matters in order to reach your 1 crore destination. Say you said you want 1 crore in 5 years, but you have only 5,000 rupees per month. Then it is next to impossible. For a person who wanted to see 1 crore in 5 years, have to save 1,20,000 rupees a month for next 5 years. And the product which he have chosen should deliver it 15% annualized return. Then only it is possible. So what I mean to say is, in order to meet your future responsibilities, you have to know how much to start, where to start, and when to start. Hope I'm clear with this. So last but not least, wealth transfer. Till here, we have been talking about wealth creation, wealth protection, and here comes wealth transfer. So what are all we saved for our family or for our kids, so will be with us as long as we are alive. And you think even after your demise, these assets, your earnings, your assets and earnings will be transferred automatically to your spouse and kids, right? No. Remember, wherever you give a nominee, today you have to understand, nomination under any product is just play the role of a guardian in absence of the person who bought that product. This is not applicable to only two products in our country. One is insurance, and the second one is public provident fund. Only for these two products, nominee is an ultimate owner in absence of the proposer or the applicant. But in all the other asset classes or all the other products, you have to have a will to be written in order to make sure that in your absence, that specific asset will be transferred according to your emotions. And will is definitely a very useful tool which will help your family not to quarrel in your absence. So, pearls of financial wisdom. So this is just a summary of things which we have discussed in last few slides or last few minutes. First and foremost, pearl is never depend on a single income. Let your investments work for you. So always ensure that your money has to work for you. Then only a passive income can be generated. And the second important pearl is save or invest first, then spend. So don't save whatever is left. Spend whatever is left. And also know the difference between savings, investing, and speculation. These days, this generation people will get always confused that investing, speculation, or one or the same. No, there is a good amount of difference between investing, speculation, and saving. And most important, to start any of your financial journey, you have to figure out where you wanted to reach. Then it will tell you how you can reach. So financial goal or a target is most important. Remember, while creating your financial roadmap, you make sure that you create emergency fund and ensure your emotions with the right risk management tools. If you remember, we have talked about 4 important risk management tools. One is term insurance, second one is health insurance, third one is accidental insurance, and the fourth one is critical illness insurance, which we have not discussed actually. That is also equally important. And don't buy insurance just for saving taxes or to meet your future financial responsibilities. Remember, insurances are not to save your money. They're just to save your goals or emotions in absence of you. And while buying insurance also, don't buy all fancy products. Just buy a pure term insurance plan. And remember, having a personal insurance is must. Just don't rely on your employer insurance. Last but not least, have a professional advisor who takes care of your financial responsibilities. So this is the last slide of today's discussion. Why do we need a financial advisor? Do we really need a person who handholds us and to make sure that we reach these financial obligations? No, right? How many of you think that you don't need an advisor to manage your financial responsibilities? Can you just ping me? People who think they don't need an advisor can just use the chat box and type no. I think very few people were saying that they don't need a person. Just remember, financial advisor's job is not just to multiply your money. His job is to make sure that you have peaceful financial journey, stress-free financial journey, to make sure you reach your destination in a timely manner. And with the help of a financial advisor, you can even save time. Saving time is nothing but you're manufacturing your time. If you don't have a professional person who create a plan for you, how do you know which goal is most important and which product suits that specific goal? We don't know, right? So you have to do again your education. You have to start studying about these finances. Even though you start studying about these finances, maybe there are many aspects which you may miss out. So it is very important that you hire a financial advisor who handles your responsibilities. I think you'll just remember, hiring a financial advisor is must. So this is about our credentials. Like, we have been in the market from more than 15 odd years. We have a cumulative experience of 40 plus years if we sum up all our team members' experience. And at present, we have 1260 plus families whom we have been advising. And out of which there are 70 odd families where we have across the globe. And these are our products and services. As I said, I'm not going to sell you or promote you anything. I'm not selling or promoting any product. This is just about our organization. Thank you very much for your time. I hope you have taken a couple of things to use it immediately after this session. Thank you very much for your time.